Welcome to NetTalks Tamil. Today we are going to discuss about inter VLAN routing option 2. See, in previous video we have discussed about the inter VLAN routing based on the traditional method. Now the option 2 is a router on stick. Most of the organization will be used this method, router on stick method for inter VLAN routing, and the third option is a layer 3 switch. Based on the scenario, they will be using the router on stick concept or layer 3 switch. But this router on stick will be used on the where the multiple links are there, multiple links are segregating for different purposes. Okay, in those scenario also the router on stick will be used. Now we are going to discussing about router on stick. The router on stick is the router interface divided into multiple sub interface which act as a default gateway to the respective VLAN or network. Now, for example, this PC1 and PC2 is part of different VLAN itself, and PC1 and server is in one VLAN. Okay, in this single port will be connected to this router. We are creating sub interfaces between this switch to router. For sub interface 1 will be for gateway for this VLAN. Sub interface 2 will be gateway for this router. The similar like the one single port will be used for sliced into the multiple sub interfaces. Now let us see in our scenario how we have the green color all are in single VLAN, the VLAN 20 sales team, and then this color will becomes under a magenta color is comes under the VLAN 10. The VLAN 10 is a HR team and VLAN 20 is a sales team. Okay, let's enable the access VLAN towards all the PCs, switch to switch trunk port. The trunk port used to carry a multiple VLANs, and then this switch to this router we will be allowing as a trunk port. Earlier we allowed as a traditional, we allowed as a access port. Here we are going to allow as a trunk port. Why? Because we need to pass two VLANs information over this link. Two VLAN information. Earlier we are allowing one dedicated port for one VLAN, so we are allowed as access port. Now in the same trunk port, okay, we are allowing multiple VLAN information. For that purpose, we are going to use as a router on stick. Here we are going to create a multiple sub interfaces. Let's see in the lab. Now we have created all VLANs already. I have created access port or trunk port. I have already assigned it. Please go through my previous video about VLAN tagging and all. In that it will be briefly explained how to assign access port, trunk port, all those information. The scenario is same which we discussed. Now we need to configure two sub interfaces in this router, and then we need to enable a trunk port on this port for allowing two VLAN information. If you have 10 VLAN information, those information also will get passed over this trunk port. How many VLANs, how many sub interfaces are required, we can create under the one physical interface. Under the one physical interface umbrella, we are going to create a multiple logical interfaces, which is called as a sub interfaces. Now let's go to router switch. We'll enable a trunk port. Interface FA0/4 config T. Interface FA0/4 switch port mode trunk. As usual, we are enabling trunk port, which is connected to router. Show interface trunk. We could able to see the trunk port FA0/4. Now I'm saving the configuration. Now configuration is saved. Now I'm going to configure router. The router, the physical interface is GI0/0/0. Under that, we are going to create a multiple sub interfaces. Config T. Interface GI0/0/0. dot 1. See, we can create as any number. Okay, that is for our understandable. Okay, usually whatever the VLAN is there, that number we can create it. Okay, 10, 20, 30 VLAN number based on this encapsulation. To understand the VLAN information, we are using this command. Otherwise this interface will not understand the traffic comes from which VLAN. Encapsulation dot 1q10. This command is to understand the traffic comes under which VLAN. Now this interface I am creating for a VLAN 10. So I'm using encapsulation.1q10 and then VLAN 10 gateway IP address I'm assigning to this sub interface GA 0/0/1. Now GA 0/0/2 sub interface I'm going to use for VLAN 20. The encapsulation.1q is a 20 to understand the information about 20 VLAN. Encapsulated .1q trunking protocol we are using 20. The VLAN number 20. If for 10 we used as a 10, for 20 20. If you are creating one more VLAN as a 30, then you have to use as a encapsulation .1q 30. The two, see, same interface we can't assign to the multiple VLANs. Only one sub interface can be assigned to one VLAN. Now for the VLAN 20 also I have created a gateway. Now both the VLANs are created with the gateway, logical gateway. Now I could able to see logical address. Under the 0/0/0, 0.1 and 0.2 is 0.1 is for VLAN 10, 0.2 is for VLAN 20. Now is administrative down. I'm going to make up the physical interface. Once the physical interface make up, all sub interface also will come up. Now sub interface also came up. GA 0/0/1 and GA 0/0/2. Two sub interfaces is configured. One is for VLAN 10, one is for VLAN 20. Now let's ping IP count. This is a part of VLAN 20 this machine. Let me ping the VLAN 20 gateway 20.20.20.1 which is assigned to this router. Now let me ping the VLAN 10 gateway from here. Usually it will not ping, but here it will ping now. Okay, the first RTO it's for landing a ARP. What is ARP? That is we have discussed in my previous video. Please go through that video as well. Now it's pinging. Now let me initiate a connection from PC VLAN 10. 10.10.10.2. Let me ping gateway of VLAN 20, whether it's pinging or not. See, I'm pinging the PC of VLAN 20, 20.20.20.2. Okay, first time it will take a time to learn a ARP. That's why one RTO is coming, requested timeout. After that, it started pinging. Now I'm pinging gateway 20.20.20.1. Now let's ping a PC. My gateway 10.10.10.1 gateway, that is also pinging. The communication it looks fine. I'm able to ping a gateway of my VLAN 10, gateway of VLAN 20, and then VLAN 20 machine as well. Now I'm able to communicate from VLAN 10 to VLAN 20, VLAN 20 to VLAN 10, vice versa. All communications happening without any issue. Okay. Now if you're creating 100 interface VLAN also, 100 VLAN can be assigned in the same physical interface. But earlier traditional scenario, if you are creating 100 VLANs, 100 separate dedicated interface you need to create and assign to the router, which is not a cost or is suggested way and effective way as well. In corporate, we will be having multiple VLANs. For that one multiple VLANs, we can go with the multiple one single physical VLAN, physical port with multiple logical interfaces. Physically one port, but logically multiple ports. That is advantage of router on stick concept. Hope this video makes clear about router on stick concept. Please watch continually Net Talks Tamil to get basic info about networking. If you have any doubts, please drop your doubts in comment box. It will be addressed in upcoming videos. Thanks for watching Net Talks Tamil. Like it, share it, subscribe it. Please drop your comments in comment box.